Embodied. I gotta get some of Grizz's branding in here.
We want what's best for you. Remember, there is no agency. And also, remember, embody. Remember to embody.
You know, this vague accent that Grimm has. You know, maybe he's been sent from Russia to America to colonize me personally. Maybe Grim Grizz is Putin's tool to get under my skin. And now that he's become my favorite YouTube channel, it's happening. Remember, embody. Remember, embody. We want what's best for you. And your body wants what's best for you.
Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
Trust the facts. Remember, embody.
Don't have gratitude unless you remember, embody it. There is no agency. We want what's best for you. Please do.
Remember, embody. We want what's best for you. The remember, embody, participation and virtually not alone. I mean, these are the things of Grizz's channel are really central to this. Grim Grizz channel. The heart of the Grim Grizz channel is virtually not alone. Remember, embody, there is no agency. The heart of the Grim Grizz channel is about the question and anxiety of life being wasted in union with machines instead of other real human beings. That's the heart of your channel, Grizz. That's the heart of your channel. And it comes out of, very clearly, the pain that many people are growing up being parented by machines and not by their biological parents.
Oh, welcome. I hope you're feeling virtually not alone. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know if anybody's even listening right now. Like these voices in the background makes them feel virtually not alone. Your host, General Griswold Gaius, Grim of the First Blood Regress regimen embodying narcissistic sociopathy. On behalf of the Sacred Order of Foolish Transparency, I with the film. We have some all-stars in the hive mind today. Hive mind today. Hive mind today. Hive mind today. Hive mind today.
Oh, we do have some all-stars in the hive mind today. That's for this special unlocked edition of the I See Me Comparative Phrenology. Get off of there, Kill. The I See Me Comparative Phrenology stream, where well, see, what happened was is there once a time was a branding made by McMo, and then Lance made a rendition remix of it. And then I decided that I could do special streams on demand through the power of the Buy Me a Coffee Fund over here. If you look at this here, we had a goal. We had a goal set over here to unlock the stream. When the target amount is reached, I will perform the Comparative Phrenology live stream. My most Papa Peterson live stream yet. That's it. We'll have to get a third-party judge. But as you can see, the Hive Mind Shadow Cabal has done the unlocking for you, and now you are presented with the unlocked edition of the Comparative Phrenology stream, in which I have promised to do three things. First, I have promised to recant. Recall and retell as best as I can my experience at the Symbolic World Reclaiming the Cosmic Image event in Tarpon Springs on Leap Year Day, February 29th of 2024, and also insert myself to in response in Daniel Dennett's now deceased chair, opposite Peterson's edge of his thinking, and we're going to do a bit of that. And I've also made a special Papa Peterson playlist of all the stuff on my channel that I wanted him, that if there's going to be any of my videos you watch, Papa Peterson, here's the playlist. And we'll be poking through that today as we unlock it as well. Welcome, everybody. Special stream. Very special. Let's take the beast train in. Wait. That's unfortunate. But now, since we're time traveling, I can upload it now, right after.
Sitting here on my phone, the internet is where I roam. And my chat is in the zone. I'm virtually not alone. The devices that I own, reading clips with the flow. As a needy indigo, this corner's now my home.
Hello and welcome back to the Griswold Grim YouTube channel, Virtually Not Alone. Hope you're feeling that on this Comparative Phrenology stream unlocked edition, in which the CIA deck card of the show is the six of diamonds. Welcome. You. I don't know. You might not need your savings throws in this one, but just in case, this is the place where as far as I know, the only place on YouTube where you get saving throws against mind control. To get one, you get to choose. You have to choose to get one, and this is what you choose from. You're basing your resistance to the mind control on one of four key forces: your will to survive, survival, your social network, wisdom that you've acquired over the course of your life, or heart, the power of your heart, survival, social, wisdom, or heart. You choose, I roll. If it's over 10, you take half damage from the mind control and the rest of the show and the rest of your day. And if it's under 10, you take full damage. But remember, everybody, we want what's best for you. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Survivalist with a 4 today. Look at this. Look at this. You're gonna need your bonuses. You can get those by leaving replay comments and such. Socialist, guess what? Bonuses don't apply. Not one for you. Not one for the socialist. Lovers of wisdom. Baker's Coven, 13 for you. You're gonna be okay. Hard folks, banging it in hard with 18. 18. No bonus. Oh no. Oh no, look. Oh, look, the Indigo Kid's got a nat 20, which means you get to see the die and how Beholder is imprisoned within. This die was lost and found again at the Symbolic World event, courtesy of their lost and found table. And that's a memory from the thing you're delivering on the stream thing already. How about that? How about that? The way he brought Jonathan Pageau into our awareness was sort of as a bishop of symbolism. I mean, the man now runs the Symbolic World website, and it's all into symbolism. And and I don't know why I can't find these videos on either of their channels, but they brought Peterson came on and he was like, check this out. It's a symbol, and he put it on his head. It's a symbol, and he put it on his head. It's a symbol, and he put it on his head. Hello, welcome to the live stream. As it's a live stream, it is live and real time and happening. And Kale over there in the hive mind with his fancy wrench, is asking for help. He says he needs some branding. And frankly, that's exactly what I've been trying to do for years. And the place I've been trying to do it is these are the skills we can learn, and they're jobs that aren't jobs yet, and we can do them for each other and help each other build fabulous ships to sail upon the ocean of attention in the YouTube confinement realm. Casino deck card of the show is the Queen of Hearts, and look behind me there's a Kyrie thing, and that actually also relates to the Symbolic World Tarpon Springs event, and we'll talk about that right after we give our special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all.
So say we all. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Ho, ho, ho.
In all our searching, the only thing we've found that makes the emptiness bearable is each other.
Keep it going. I'll never die. I love you. I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
I wish I would just like roll into background music or something. That's just.
This is Paul, and just a little quick video
all these forces they don't understand. The fact that there's war coming, all these things, they don't even know what they're doing. And yet, they're already playing the game.
That's what it's all about.
That our tools were small enough and around long enough that we could actually play with them and experiment with them and get to know them and learn to think outside the box. Is that everybody there was thinking outside the box because we'd all come from outside the box. Everybody talks about thinking outside the box. They go inside the box and tell everybody in there that they should learn to think outside the box. If you really want people to think outside the box, go find people who are from outside the box, because those people can't think anywhere but outside the box. That's where we were, all of us to one extent or another in those days. It's not where we are now.
There's a reality that you and Paul touch on when it comes to like people getting what they need versus what they want. That you and Paul kind of see pretty clearly, and I'm trying to learn how to see that way too.
Well, that's my faith in the arenic nature of the agency. The arenic nature of the agency and our ability to interface with it personally. That's what I'm selling. Am I selling it? Yes. There's shirt. No, there's not shirts below. You didn't turn it on. You didn't. Khaki time. Carpenter pants, sir. Give me carpenter pants made of denim Morse denim. That's what we want. That's what we want. Okay, I'm not at all distracted. However, what I'm doing is I'm telling how this package, this mysterious package itself, came to be in my home, and then unboxing it and hinting at what might be in it. And that involves my journey to Tarpon Springs, entirely funded by the shadow cabal of production executives through our Kofi goal setting systems, much like the one that unlocked this stream. And so one of the contacts I ran into there wore a T-shirt they shouldn't have, and I've later learned he's deeply infiltrated Jonathan Pajot's organization, and I wonder if that was an interaction where TLC turned into a job. Like if it weren't for us, who would be coloring that book is what I wonder. And it turns out that later on, after having met this person with this suspicious T-shirt, I saw a podcast done by the Lex Friedman, because he'd had John Vervaeke on once, and so had I. Look, we're so similar, me and Lex, and and so I'm watching this Lex Friedman, and he's talking to this lady who has a lot of interesting things to say, and one of the interesting things to say is that there's a company that has shirts that you could hold a phone up, and it brings up a profile of someone. Based on you like pointing your phone at them, you get their information. And I was like, I bet you that information is like a character sheet. I wonder if the guy who has the T-shirt could get me my character sheet, so I would know what there are no agencies. There are no agencies. We all know that there is no agency. Any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency. And so I bring this up, man. I'm like, hey, I like a character sheet, and I hear nothing back. And then my life happens, and my response is to dive deeply into the Civilization 5 video game. Pastor Paul Vanderklay claims that Civilization 6 is better. Unfortunately, the resources of this device upon which I do such things can't appropriately run 6 without it being terribly painful. And so I'm playing this 5, a lot of it, and I see a connection hidden deep within this game to the man I met in Tarpon Springs with the mysterious T-shirt. And as such, I contact him and I say, dude, I found this connection. And he's like, you've won the prize. and then I will send you this. And he sends me this. He's hinted that my character sheet may be in there, and I'm very excited to see whether that's or not true, because that would be, I wouldn't inquiring minds want to know. Shenandoah Valley Card Farm deck of the show, also the Queen of Hearts. Oh, channel naming, Steven. What does it mean when they come up twice? So right after this, did anybody donate yet? No. Oh, right after this, the unboxing of the special package, which may or may not contain my character sheet. Stay tuned. Oh, welcome back. We're getting a resurgence of the Denim War, and I got to come out clearly and strongly on the side of Denim War's Denny in any such Denim War. However, it is exciting to see the recurgence, mainly because I sell a Denim War's Denny hat, and someone's purchased one. Not only has somebody actually purchased a Denim War's Denny hat, somebody also, and beautifully has shown me it's for good valid use, purchased the Howdy Rascal onesie. That's Howdy Rascal way up there. Oh, you cannot see. He's on top of the mask Chad gave me. Look, there he is. Focus on his head. Yes, there's Howdy Rascal. He's also on a onesie for little babies, and that means a baby has worn my branding, and that's the best. Okay. It may or may not be the lady who drew the... Okay, now the unboxing of the mysterious package as promised and available special to you, thanks to the Shadow Cabal for unlocking this live stream, the Comparative Phrenology stream with Bob. Oh, how you guys doing? You don't know how to sharpen a knife. What kind of man are you? Shh. And then remember it.
This we should see. We walk
Okay, the awkward struggling with the package portion has been achieved, and we're now to the point. I went over from the top, you see, and now we slide it out. What comes out like there's even this. Even this is animated. It makes it look like this is the front, though. It makes it look like this is the front. How about that? What's it say there? Here's my order. It wasn't. I was ordered to receive it, and now I have to destroy this to get into it. It's so precious, and now you can tell the seal is broken. The safety, it's been tampered with. Now. It's worth less on eBay. Oh boy. All right. And it showed them. And then you see, then it opens. I don't know how to do unboxings. I'm not that kind of YouTuber. Oh, look there. It's in the bag. It's in the protective bag. There's no additional. But okay, well, if the character sheet's in it, it's hidden in the book, and you weren't meant to see it. But there, at least, is what I got, thanks to my Tarpon Springs adventure, powered by the Shadow Cabal.
Slime! What? It's a river of slime! I listened to him. I think he is telling us the truth. That is indeed what he wants. Those of you who are sort of sniffing for duplicity or grift or dishonesty, I don't smell any of that here. I think
LARP. We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. LARP. We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. That was a McMo one, I think. I believe that was a McMo masterpiece. I think that was his stylistic impression, signature thereof. Okay. And welcome back to the Comparative Phrenology stream, Unlocked Edition, where I deliver on three things, one of which is a retelling of my experiences at the Symbolic World Summit, Reclaiming the Cosmic Image, where I was within 25 feet of Jordan Peterson in his Jesus Christ jacket. I did not reach out to touch it. I didn't think of it. At the time. And so let's do that. Just get it over with. Pull the plug. Get it done. Okay. Well, shuffle cards. You can shuffle cards while you do this. All right. So I had been warned before arriving that someone had watched Christian Baxter on a late night live stream with Teo Falele, and how on said stream, Agent Baxter said he was going to use my get up close to me and use me essentially to garner clout. So I had been pre-warned of this, and true to form, as I parked my car across the street, Christian Baxter immediately took a picture of me and tweeted it, and so the day began. We journeyed down to check the parking to see if he was going to get towed or fined, and after moving his car, we went and had a meal. We broke bread with a meal in a little what was it? It was an ice cream shop or something. But we got a tuna fish salad sandwich. I don't know. There's video documentation of it. That was fine and dandy. There was a little card pull there, and if I remember right, it was nice because it was a black deck of cards. The nine of clubs is the Michigan deck card of the show. And then as people gathered and to pick up their passes, I got to go into special short VIP line and get a good view of everyone else picking up their passes. We got our passes and we got a little bag of stuff, including this beautiful notebook, which I have since come to realize should be treated like a yearbook, a high school yearbook. You get everybody that you meet to sign it. That's what these things should be used for, but I didn't know that at the time. It was a strange and awkward experience because as far as nicotine, I was on a patch, and as far as other chemical aids, I was otherwise unmanned, and so there was that dystopian awkwardness in my own mind, and then externally there was this level of micro celebrity, which is fun and awkward to experience. It's where you, mostly where people look at you and you know that you can tell they recognize you. And it's weird because they can recognize you and most people can't recognize you. And you're in a crowd of people that can. And that's kind of awkward. And you know that occasionally someone will come up and say, "Hey, I watch your stuff." And that's kind of cool. But you know they could come out and do that at any moment. And so that was a whole overtone constantly throughout my experience at the conference. Mainly because enough people watched me to send me there and it gets me a VIP ticket. So, it's like some of those people might want to return on their investment to press flesh with me or something. And those concerns were set the underwhelming, it was the atmosphere in my mind during the thing. And more of this fascinating story probably after another do a little bit of the other things. I gotta touch a minute.
I'm not a cat.
The list?
Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room?
I want to cast Magic Missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet.
I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile.
Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here.
I'm attacking the darkness.
All right. Special thanks to everyone meeting the Kofi goal. You should probably set another one. And while you're doing it, so you don't feel like you have to run your mouth the whole time, put in some feeding the ducks. There you go. Now you can let there be a silence for a second. A nice hum. This, ladies and gentlemen, is how you set a new goal over on Ko-fi, one of the better platforms for doing this sort of thing if you don't want to always pay YouTube a 30% cut. Let's set a new goal. You haven't thought that through at all. What's the next grift, pal? What's the next grift? Oh, no, I don't have a grift ready. What kind of failure is this? Oh, no, something has to happen. I'm
particularly, it was the notion of a union with Christ. And I'm talking about a participatory ontological union.
Okay, very interesting.
That's...
Just to interrupt briefly, where's the bifurcation point? Like, where does it go? Where does it go from what you said? There's a pivot point at which it moves away and loses touch. Where's that happening, and why did it happen?
I'm out of time, but I'm out of my head.
Shake it up is all that we know. Using the bodies up as we go. I'm waking up to fantasies. The shades all around aren't the colors we used to see. Broken ice still melts in the sun. And times that are broken can often be won again. We're so alone, and so really matters to me. Take a look around. You're out of touch. I'm out of time. But I'm out of my head. And breaking and exciting news, I have to click on view on YouTube and then make it stop making noise. But yes, in breaking and exciting news, I've set a new Ko-fi goal called anything I can do. Anything I can do. And because boy howdy, it's like, is there anything you can do? I don't know. It's dog food's expensive. And so that's the new Ko-fi goal, and here it is. The dog food is expensive grift. Dog food is expensive. There's the new grift. No special perks for unlocking. This was a torturous thing to do to myself, to have a task set in front of me. It would and and just do it. All right. Okay. So from the playlist I made today. Look, you can see it here. I will unlock this for your full enjoyment. It's the Peterson stuff I'd want him to know I made. Playlist. Starter off number one is now you guys have seen Experience of God 7,000 times. You're not new around here. This one's fun, but it's out of time. It's
not okay for you to be a weak loser. It's not okay. And the reason it's not okay is because you could be way more than that. And it's a crime, an ethical crime, for you to allow all that necessary potential to go to waste. It hurts you, it hurts your family, it hurts the world. Really, really, it does. And people think, oh, okay, I get it. And they do get it because they know at some level, if you turn around and you confront the suffering voluntarily, you find out that you are way tougher than you think. It's not that life is better than you think. Life is as harsh as you think. It might even be worse, but you are way tougher than you think if you turn around and confront it. And so then what you discover is that there's a spirit within you that can pursue something meaningful, that has the resilience and the strength to contend properly with the catastrophe of existence without becoming bitter. That's actually the central. So, and I would say that's one of the central themes of 12 Rules for Life, is that make no mistake about it. Like the first noble truth of Buddhism, life is suffering. My website and send it to the gift's eventual recipient. Here is a one-paragraph selection from Beyond Order. This is from the first chapter, Rule 1. Do not casually denigrate social institutions or creative achievement.
Whoops. I love putting that at the end there because I was casually denigrating his social achievements. And that, that's an unfortunate pose. Welcome to the land of unfortunate poses. I'll do one more from that playlist. You can check out the whole thing after the stream. And we'll call that as delivered upon for the Phrenology comparative thing.
Propositional reduction is inadequate, insufficient, and it's groping for the closest thing at hand. And the closest thing at hand is what technology makes salient to it, which is power. We have to go deeper. We have to say, no, there's a place for that. And your situational awareness, the states of consciousness you get access to, ultimately depend on your character.
Well, that's a lot to swallow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to scuttle back to my power claim.
I didn't mean to dump so much.
No, not at all. And that the question isn't sophisticated enough,
Yes.
And so I phrased it as an adversarial hypothesis, as a satanic hypothesis. Essentially, the West is possessed by this satanic demand for power, and that's its characteristic spirit. And I don't believe that. That is a contamination which occurs repeatedly. Characters in that drama who are motivated primarily by Philia, so Philia Nikeia. But you see Philia, Sophia merge between them. One leads to the other. And that seems to be related to your wrestling argument in some sense, and maybe to mine.
Please.
First of all, I want to know what you think of my sideshow of a much deeper problem, John. It's not easy for me to process, but
no, that's fair.
And yeah, well, so I'm having some trouble with that. But is it okay if we deal with that and then move on?
Sure. I mean, the earlier Foucault, maybe even the middle Foucault, sees a deep interpenetration between power and knowledge. The relevance of a proposition can't be captured within the syntax or semantics of the proposition. I mean, that's the main thing that Derrida is on about. So
that's a consequence of what we're bringing to the table, because the relevance is the interpenetration of the semantic and the and the syntactic with
and
the
it's also
unique.
I always have to convey way more than I can say because I have to rely on you. Character traits are at the bottom of this. Right? If you
go ahead, man.
Right.
That's honesty driven by love.
Right, but I don't think.
And so if I trust you, that's what I trust. So my sense of that, I want to go back to something. I asked you to define love, and I'm going to define it on my terms now. Please. And that is the best in me serving the best in you. And I think that's the deepest pleasure. That's the deepest and most lasting pleasure. And it is the most fundamental motivation. It's the inexhaustible source. And that's the animating spirit of mankind. And that's a way different claim than the one the atheists are going after, by the way. Yeah. Think about it, everyone. Is truth in the service of love not the best animating spirit of mankind when it isn't pursuing an aberration? We can all ask ourselves that question.
I think that's a good question to ask.
Thank you, John.
No, what I mean is I think it reorients us to the
We can put that on a t-shirt. Is truth in the service of love a good question?
That's not a t-shirt I sell, but you can have one in case you get called for jury duty that has jury nullification on it. That's probably gonna get you out of the jury duty. Welcome, everybody. We're doing the Unlocked Edition special. I wouldn't do it until they paid me to. I See Me Comparative Phrenology stream, recounting my time at the Symbolic World Summit, where there was a Jordan Peterson appearance. The new Jordan Peterson playlist from If You Knew I Made Stuff About You, This Is What I'd Confess To playlist will be unlocked after the stream, and also an insertion of myself into the Daniel Dennett episode of Papa Peterson did. Where did you had it? There it is. Now, what we decided to do, rather than go through and make clips of all the questions he asked and address them like that, I've gone in. No, share this tab instead. I've gone in and opened up the transcript, as you can see over there, and placed in my Control F. Good way of thinking, because you know he's got that tick where he says that's a good way of thinking about it. There are 6 entries in this category, and that's where we'll be beginning. We go to the good way of thinking about it, and then 30 seconds before that. Okay, we go right there. Here, this far.
Out for you, and you tell me what you think about that. So, for example, one way of conceptualizing the God of the Old Testament is he's the force that manifests itself as calling. So, for example, when Moses is attracted by the burning bush is a very good example of this. So Moses is a shepherd at the point in the story where the burning bush makes itself manifest. And the burning bush is a symbol. It's like a symbol of the dynamism of life. That's a good way of thinking about it, because a tree is a good symbol of life. And a burning tree is a tree that's in the process of transformation. And so it's like a vision of hypermetabolism. That's a good way of thinking about it. But it's also a combination of being and becoming. And so it's the manifestation of being and becoming. That's very abstract. In any case, what happens to Moses is that he's wandering around and he's by Mount Sinai, and something attracts his attention.
All right. I hate to interrupt you, Papa Peterson, but the thing I'd like you to understand about the burning bush, okay? Like, I need you to close your eyes and maybe do what you do to visualize DNA, and then jackass. Then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna visualize this desert plain with the tree that's burning in it, and this guy walking up to it, all right? And then we're going to watch his cognition in his brain. We're going to look over here, and we're going to strip away all of our vision, except for the electrical processes going off in his neuronal network off of the base of his spine into his frontal lobes. And we're going to visualize that electric firestorm and say that's what a burning bush is. That's what a burning bush is. And now we'll go to the next time you say that's a good way of thinking about it. Maybe here. No, Just keep going. This one. No, they're all in the next five seconds. There it is. There's a good one. 10 minutes later.
I get that. That's Descartes' big error was in being solitary, trusting to his own mind and trying to get his clear and distinct ideas ever clearer and more distinct. And the only way he could trust them, he thought, is if he posited a benevolent, all-knowing God. We don't need that. What we need is each other.
So, okay, so let me riff on that for a minute. So there's a gospel insistence that where two or more are gathered in the name of the Logos, that spirit makes itself manifest. That's a good way of thinking about it. And so imagine that what we're trying to do in this conversation and what we hopefully are doing to
Papa Peterson, I gotta let you know, my good man, you, sir, have been Mandela'd. The biblical representation I hope you cover in your gospel going over the gospel with Jonathan Pajot, which was announced at the Symbolic World Conference, that you cover that it is in fact, at least in my Mandela'd version, when two or three gather in the name. That's what it gets weird after three. It turns into a crowd or something. I'm not sure what the deal is, but it's when two or three gather in the name, not two or more.
any weapon you make will be used by your enemies within one generation. Yeah. It's something like that.
So,
and every tool is a weapon.
Yeah, that's true. And that's why we need government and law and order. In addition to, science depends on it. Science depends on freedom and order. And that's why the science that occurs in the free world is way ahead of the science that occurs in dictatorships.
Right. Okay. So those are part of the preconditions for the scientific endeavor that we discussed earlier. Okay. Now, I believe it was in your book, you described Stephen Jay Gould's two magisteria notion, right? That there were independent magisteria. And in your book, you...
Good God, man. Independent magisteria?
You weren't particularly convinced by that argument. That's a good way of thinking about it.
I thought it was
let me ask you. Okay.
Okay. That was a real letdown, but that's a good way of thinking about it.
Now, what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime? I don't know.
But there, I feel as though I've delivered on the part where I said I would interject myself into this conversation. Like I did it in a D- fashion, but special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. It's been done. And now covering the playlist and that, all that's left is your confessional recollection of your time at the Symbolic World Summit when things did what? Did you peacock already?
This is Paul, and just a little quick video.
All these forces they don't understand. The fact that there's war coming, all these things, they don't even know what they're doing. And yet, they're already playing the game.
That's what it's all about.
That our tools were small enough and they're round long enough that we can actually play with them and experiment with them and get to know them and learn to think outside the box. Is that everybody there was thinking outside the box because we'd all come from outside the box. Everybody talks about thinking outside the box. They go inside the box and tell everybody in there that they should learn to think outside the box. If you really want people to think outside the box, go find people who are from outside the box, because those people can't think anywhere but outside the box. That's where we were, all of us to one extent or another in those days. It's not where we are now.
There's a reality that you and Paul touch on when it comes to like people getting what they need versus what they want, that you and Paul kind of see pretty clearly, and I'm trying to learn how to see that way too.
Oh, that's my faith in the arenic nature of the agency. All right, let's start with the official notes I wrote in this magical book. Bucky and the Rainbow Cult. Rainbows are an Arkan prison. Arkan with arc and then apostrophe N. Prism. Defining the hue man. The hue man. Okay. That's what that looks like. Oh, Daily Wire Network and Justin. Those were the notes that made it into the book. Also, for some reason, Sam Rockwell and Constellate are both in there. I don't know if those are messages meant for other people or wait. A Dune read through. I says Dune read through, like I should be doing one of those. It's because the people were attending the premiere during the Symbolic World Summit event, where I had just arrived at the parking lot where people were gathering and getting their badges and credentials. Credentials, they call those. I noticed over there Mark Lefebvre and also Sally from the Making Art Sally, and I think Father Eric was in there as well, and it was an awkward moment because just weeks prior, Father Eric had titled one of his open mic Sundays something like, "There is no TLC, welcome to the Peterson Sphere." And as somebody who has access to this, Thank you very much, Sevilla. Thank you very much, Sevilla. And but someone with that, there's been a schism. There's been a schism, and I've scheduled a discussion with Father Eric so I can get the roots to what happened, and why there's been a schism. But I could feel it whilst there at the Symbolic World Summit. Meanwhile, however, I still made the effort to shake Mark Lefebvre's hand just to see if the entire universe collapsed when I did. And I did not. That did not happen. Let's see. I believe there was one talkie talk before we were allowed to go into the VIP room. And that's where the comparative phrenology portion of the stream happens. And since it's the climax of the stream, I'm going to play some more brandings. I walked into the VIP room, and there he was. I think he was already there. I don't know. It might have just been Peugeot speaking to some other people, and then he came in after. That may have been what happened. But I was floating around in the VIP room, and despite playing lots of Dungeons and Dragons, where we are often described by the you enter a 20 by 30 room or a 30 by 20 room, I have no idea how big this room was. I would guess a 30 by 30 room with one lot with the far wall lined with tables, which had the special VIP snacks, including this green special water bottles that Papa Peterson likes. And I was in there and mingling. Nate from Grail Country was in there, which was fascinating and also nice to have somebody that I'd met at events before and knew well online and played D&D with. It was once again like a makes you feel like you're at an event with an adventuring party, sort of. Bonus casino card deck of the show. Whatever. Three of spades. And then at some point, however, I was standing there, and there he was, sitting with Jean Peugeot over on there was a couch, and there was the food on this wall was the food, and then on the back wall from the entrance, there was the one couch with the chair over here and a chair over here, and the Peugeot was in this chair over here, and then he was on the couch or vice versa, and there he was in his Jesus jacket, just 20 feet away. And that's when I began having to stare deeply and intensely at his forehead. The comparative phrenology began. You see, if you're familiar with mine own origin stories in life and in it was once upon a time. It was once upon a time that my I went on past to Paul Vanderclay as the double bastard, because not only did my mother not know who her father was, I did not either. However, when I reached the age of 30, I did meet my father, and then later since his sister, my aunt. And my aunt informed me that their mother, the mother of my father, and my aunt, who I had not met, her mother, was maiden name was Peterson, and she had come from Canada. And so, ever since that moment, this was late. This was like 2018, 2019, I got this information. And as such, I've always wondered if we don't share a mixture of the of whatever bloodline makes us so brilliant and entertaining and smart and funny and great. Maybe we're not that genetically different. Maybe you can tell by the ridges on my forehead and yours. And this I verified, who with Grail Country was only like 23 feet from Jordan Peterson. I said, look at his head. Look at his forehead. Doesn't those ridges look like these ridges? And he verified compassionately that to him, yes, true, they did. And so that's what my time, the opportunity. I had to go and introduce myself and make a statement, say something. Hey, what's up, Mr. Peterson? Papa Peterson, Dr. Peterson. Hey, what about that keck hat, man? You and him worked over the symbology of how that actually played out, right? Do you think that the bearer of the keck hat is still allowed to make an arc? Or do you think you should pass that on to somebody symbolically? And when I say that, is that what I want to talk about? Do I want to talk about, hey, when you tripped out on shrooms, did you also see the shining darkness? It looked like it because you put it on that creepy song you put out. You put it on the album cover, like the album. That was what the shining darkness kind of looked like. Did you see it too? Is that when you saw it? Or you remember? Do you, Papa Peterson? Do you recall? No, it's in here somewhere. I added it to the playlist. I'm certain it's not there. You son of a play. What? You're out. You played all this branding. You've played it all twice now. What's the matter? Oh.
Remember, Embody, there is no agency. We want what's best.
Meanwhile, here's a video from after the summit. Oh, wait. Well, that's 15 seconds. Let's see. What do you got? You got wow. You really didn't make many videos for all the money people gave you. 15 seconds of the concert part. Okay. Okay.
Welcome to the neighborhood zone of the pictures. Sweet the customized every picture to make sure the lady sees the baby in the world, whether she's a woman or a girl.
Okay, but the ayahuasca letter, like this, you remember when ayahuasca said, what do you make of that? What do you make of powers and principalities proclaiming things in letters that you spread the gospel of? And you know how she said you're here to light the spark at this time? What do you think the spark is doing now? Is divine masculinity like been kindled? Is there been kindling? Is it getting better, or did it get snuffed out when nobody was looking? What do you think about that? But really, maybe the thing you should talk to Dr. Peterson about is the responsible citizenship part of the Alliance of Responsible Citizenship. And since I've recently also been exposed to your interview with the Scientology guy, which hadn't happened, I don't think, at the time of the Tarpon Springs, well, it occurred to me that this responsible citizenship should be similarly tiered, involvement tiers, the way Scientology does. Did you know they got tax exemption? That's the thing that's important to know about Scientology. But they did a tiered system, and similarly, we could do so on the Ark, because, like, at what level of responsible citizenship does a man know who's on his city council and what decisions are being made there? And is that the same level they know where it's happening at their state representation or province representation level? And what level of involvement is bare minimum to be considered a responsible man taking care of their political obligations that people apparently died to give them the right to vote for? Maybe that's what you should talk to. No, just keep staring at his forehead and wondering about genetics. Just stare at his forehead and keep wondering about genetics.
Hello. I see the assassin. I see the assassin. I see
I guess, therefore, then the next most important thing is the who you broke bread with while you were there, and that came to be interesting stories. I know the first guy was a former pastor with a twin brother. We went to lunch together, and he didn't buy, and I listened to his story for the whole lunch as if it helped out, and it was nice. It was nice. And then we went back, and then. The next day, maybe the last day perhaps, a man bought me a Philly cheesesteak sandwich and told me about how he got into successful business. And then another couple invited me to dinner after the event. And then that was attended. And it turned out while we were at that restaurant, the twin of the guy and his twin were both also in the same restaurant. And that was pleasant. And there was a special guest. It was the married couple, and then me, and then a wingman. I got myself a little wingman because they could have been taking me off to who knows where. I needed some help, and the coolest thing about that fellow was he's like the one person who watches my stuff on BitChute, obvious Fed, and that was great. I mean, somebody actually watching on BitChute was just like, wow, what a world we live in. What a world we live in. The peak conference moment for me, as far as like what a great fella to meet, was the Martin Shaw, of course. And there's a meteor story. There was a church tour where he took us through this Greek Orthodox church. And we get there, we're looking up at it, and there's triangles and stuff, and the all-seeing eye over the art, and there's just some interesting things in that there church, which he explained away very nicely. And then there was a man who I met on the side, who spoke to me about the Martin Shaw, but was also there with the recovery of the indigo dye, which seemed symbolic. He suggested that perhaps me finding the dye again was a meteor moment, and I'm like, no, my ego would not allow for such a trivial meteor moment. If other guys are getting meteors, I'm going to need something more flashier than losing and finding a dye. But it was great to meet you, Scott. That was fun. Let's see, maybe you guys ask me questions that will help me remember things. All right, nothing resembling a dadgum question, and all we have is this mysterious, I gotta have a talk with this kid. I gotta have a talk with this Christian Baxter fellow. Look at this. No, the first guy was the form of me. It was me. Embodying narcissist, fraternal. Focus on the brotherhood. Thanks, Embody, for making me feel like I completed the task I promised I would do, therefore restoring a small shred of what we call integrity by following through on something you say you're going to do. That's the integrity of your logos. And special thanks to the Shadow Cabal for unlocking this very special stream.
Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all.
I'm not going to highlight it, but Kayla's making special requests in the comments. Not this stream, Kayla. Not this stream. Goodbye, everybody.